What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Second one for today. I couldn't wait. I needed to do this video because one of my holy grail figures has been announced, and not just announced, but announced in the best possible format from Mattel. So we got I guess it was a surprise announcement. We're getting some more Mattel reveals tonight at 8 o'clock. So I had other plans. I was going to watch some college basketball from the women, but I said, well, let's see what's going on. It was so worth it because we're actually getting an Ultimate Edition Great Muta figure, not just anyone, not from all the various iterations of his career, from when he was in the NWA 1989, teaming up with Terry Funk to go against Ric Flair and Sting. And I am so ecstatic about it. I mean, this is just what a reveal. So amazing. And I'm going to go into it a little bit more, but I just had to blurt that out because normally I wait till build it up, say the best for last, but I couldn't wait. So exciting. Let's run through some of the reveals we got today from Mattel. Apologies all around. I've been trying to keep diligent track of who is providing these photos for me. And let's see, Plastic Taxi Cab, I think, is responsible for the non-ringside collectible one. So thank you for posting your photos. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a great time out there. So first up, one that had me very excited because I like to add on to my NWO at all times possible. We're getting Vince, not Virgil. And when we got Bodyguard Virgil, that was the first one. That was the most important one. We got Wrestler Virgil, kind of. Those of you who've been fortunate enough to get all those pieces, I have not as of yet, so still building him. But this was the last one, the triumvirate of Virgil figures. I mean, we get his Memphis style time frame too, but these were the three. And I feel like Mattel really did that well with the Fred Ottman figures. We got Tugboat, we got Typhoon, we even got the Shockmaster. So those were all the stuff you wanted. Now, Memphis fans, or newfound Memphis fans like me, wouldn't mind a Big Bubba figure, but I'll be fine with the three we got. But we've got not Soul Train Jones, we got Vince, and he's in his NWO attire. I was using a customized painted Maven as my Vince for my Mattel collection for the longest time. Really excited to have an official one. This is cool, and one I'm very excited to add to my NWO collection. Then we also saw Pretty Deadly, who are current members of the roster. We're on NXT for a long time. I don't know if I really care about them in terms of wrestlers, but they look like they'd be perfect crowd heads. So I'm interested. Their outfits are just wild, really well done. I know what they look like, so these head sculpts are perfect for these guys, and I think they did a really nice job with them. And this will be one of those rare cases where I'm getting a newer figure. Then we got this guy, Jim Neidhart. He was for a half second joke after High Energy or the New Foundation, and this was him in a mask. Now, kind of looking at it from a certain point of view, I kind of see maybe using this mask head sculpt as the basis for Patriot, because I think there's a lot of similarities, and with steady hands, maybe I can make that happen. But this is not another figure you have to get. This is the 2-in-1 from that New Foundation figure they showed yesterday, which is great. I mean, this is kind of a wacky gimmick, so if you wanted to get two, there you go. I'm kind of looking at this and considering who else has a hairy chest and yellow tights that maybe I could use this for as well. So if you got any suggestions, ideas, let me know. But that's neat. I appreciate when Mattel gives us a little something extra. When they were doing price hikes, I didn't have any problem because I've always said Mattel was pushing the boundaries of what they were doing long before some of these other companies, when they just jumped to change the prices. So Mattel was like, all right, let's add stuff and then we'll change the prices. We'll raise them. And I'm like, all right, well, you guys put in the work, laying the groundwork for me to go, all right, I understand why you're raising the prices. I'm already reaping the benefits. 2-in-1 figures being just one of those, and it's swappable heads. And now they've got a new technique that I'll break down a little bit later. And then this reveal today, I was not expecting, but it was so cool. And I feel like I'm going to get every one of these. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle WWE crossover. Cody as Casey Jones. This is brilliant. I mean, that American Nightmare design logo on the Casey mask, that's perfect. I mean, I am so like, wow, what a cool concept. What a great idea. So I'm getting this one for sure. He's got the weight belt wrapped around like Casey's his shoulder or chest strap belt harness deal. That is really cool and really fun. You can also see Leonardo slash Seth Rollins. He's got the glasses, which seem full on troll Seth Rollins. He's got the swords. He's got his outfit, which is kind of like what he was rocking as soon as he split from the Shield anyway. And he's got the green and blue colors, so there's no mistaking who he is. Next up, we've got some more shots of these guys. You can see Roman there, and he kind of sort of reminds me of Kratos from God of War, but I know he's super or Shredder in this case. You can see in the back Kofi as Michelangelo. That makes sense. Here's some better pictures of Roman, and this is a really cool design for him too. And you know, I've been digging how Power Rangers incorporates all these different lines and does these crossovers. This is really cool. You see Xavier Woods, and he's Leo, but he's got like the mohawk of Bebop or Rocksteady. Of course, blanking on which is which, but these are cool. And it was like, well, who's the fourth turtle? Who's it going to be? And of course, they had one all set that made perfect sense. And here you go. It's Rey Mysterio rocking a turtle power t-shirt, and he's got the green mask with red highlights. And it's just like, what a perfect combination of license and the ideal cast. Now, Red on WrestleFigs forums this tremendous idea to do Andre the Giant as Krang and with Bobby the Brain Heenan his head in the middle. Now that may be too scary for some people, but I was like, that's a really great idea. So very fun stuff. And I love when Mattel comes up with these crossovers. This is a really cool one. Not the only crossover we'd see with the reveals today. So great stuff. That was from earlier in the day, so you might have already seen it, but I just wanted to do a quick recap of it. And here you go, just another shot. We are getting the Great Muta in this style. We're getting him full gear, and I'm so excited about this. Like, this is truly outrageous, as Jim would say. But so excited to get that guy, one of my favorites, and just the fact that we're going to get him in this line is very exciting. I'm gonna run through these real fast. This is there you go. Let's bigger window here. It's Bray Wyatt, and he's got I think this is from his time when he and Matt Hardy were teaming up. They didn't mention it, so I assume that was the time frame. Can't mention anyone who's in AEW, so I get it. I think this figure looks cool. They waited what I think was a respectable amount of time before they cranked out more Bray Wyatt figures after his unfortunate passing last year. So it's really cool to see him back in the line, smiling head sculpt, so you can continue to build up your Bray Wyatt collection. But that wasn't the only one. We've got an Ultimate Edition one. This is slated for checks notes. Can't find it. Oh, Ultimate Edition 24. And this is pretty cool. They didn't mention the sleeves glowing in the dark, which I thought would have been really cool, but they're not. And we've got different head sculpts, and I think they really took advantage of the format. So we got different arms, and this is when it's pitch black. So he's got the glow in the dark paint. And so that's why the blue and the white are showing off like that. You know, like when you have your black light, the different regular arms, the non-painted head sculpt, and then the mask that he wore after beating LA Knight. And it's really fun that they included all this, and pretty cool concept. Great use of the UE presentation to get in so many different looks with one figure. Next up, LA Knight. Yeah. And this is a great use of Ultimate Edition as well, because he's a very expressive guy. So having 3 different portraits makes a lot of sense for him. And I think these are really good. I think the default one they have with the smirking kind of eyebrow raised look is perfect. And we got another slightly smiling and a mid promo gesture. He didn't come with a whole lot beyond that, though. He's got a mic, he's got his vest. I think Bill or Steve mentioned he may have a soft goods shirt as well, which makes sense. adds a little bit more because he doesn't have a title or anything to really plus up the value. So this is cool. I'm definitely going to get this one. Then there's another LA Knight. This is part of the defining moments line. Now, the first run, these are the ringside exclusive figures. They were all kind of legends. Now we're getting modern characters in there as well. This is from when he won the SummerSlam Battle Royal. They kind of sold it as this is the point where he started to get over. I kind of casually watch, maybe. Don't really know if this is defining moments worthy, but whatever. I don't have to buy it, especially when that great Ultimate Edition figure is coming. So that's that. Then we got one of my favorite reveals. Becky Lynch is Phoenix in her X-Men inspired attire from TLC. And she's got a new head sculpt as well. And I'm about the X-Men, so I've got to get this figure. It's a really cool look for her. And thankfully, she's just a regular standard elite part of Elite 112, where the players dwell. So there won't be any problem finding this figure. And I'm definitely for sure getting this one. Then next up, she's got a Chase, and this is a pretty cool design as well. I don't remember this one, so if you all know, let me know in the comments. But I don't think I necessarily need to get this one, but for sure I'm getting that Phoenix one because that is so cool to me. Next up, new version of Xavier Woods with his hair out a little bit curlier. I like all this paint deco with the flowers, kind of camo look we've got going. So this is a nice look, kind of mixes up your display a little bit for your Xavier figures. Kind of cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it, but I like that they're mixing up the different portraits and just changing up the look for him because he's had several figures over the years from Mattel. Next, Carlito, and he's so cool. And he's got a Apple holding hand sculpt, which is awesome. And they weren't shy about teasing the very good likelihood of getting a ruthless aggression version of Carlito. This is from his return to WWE, joining the LWO under Rey Mysterio's run. So this is pretty nice to get him back in the line. I feel like he's one that's kind of been overdue. He didn't get an elite figure back in the day. I think he was, of course, part of the roster when they got the license when Mattel took over, but they weren't able to crank out an elite figure before he left. So it was this weird limbo pattern for him. Now we finally get a Carlito figure, and really outside of the goatee, it's not much difference. So if you happen to have that old basic Carlito figure, you could probably use this for that one. So there you go. And next up is the Chase version. I kind of like this one more. It's a little bit more colorful. Got a little bit of lavender / light purple. That's fun. Carlito is cool, and so is his figure. Then we got more reveals coming. We got Tiffany Stratton. Very nice to see her already in here. And they mentioned this is her Barbie inspired gear. And this is from Great American Bash 2023. And this makes sense to go with for her elite figure. I really hope that with her, Mattel figures out a way to size up these female figures some, because she and Rhea Ripley are and Bianca Belair are not skinny. They're broad and they've got great muscle definition, and this body may not work for her. So I'm a little bit worried if they're going to just throw on the generic female body and go, here's Tiffany Stratton. I think it's time, especially with Jade Cargill joining the fold now, for them to incorporate a new muscular female body sculpt. And there's 4 that would really benefit from it. So you can use it for at least 4 figures. All right, so there you go. There's Tiffy, and it is indeed Tiffy time. Next up, we got Jey Uso from his solo run after he split from the Bloodline. So you got that, and you can continue the story still when you get your Ultimate Edition. Cody, you can pair him up with this guy, Seth Rollins, and you've got the whole effort to fight the Bloodline. And that's cool, but let's keep that feud going with the Jimmy Uso. This head sculpt looks a lot better, looks more like him, and they said they've got a new braided hair sculpt for him. That's good. He's got a cool looking mask there, so not a whole lot of accessories, I assume, maybe incorrectly, but I think he'll have a soft good shirt as well. They did not mention it, so don't go after Mattel because I assumed incorrectly. Then more stuff. Got a Carrie Sane coming, and Bill continues to designed some amazing Japanese wrestlers, and this one looks really well done too. She's got her umbrella. This is from her Kabuki Warriors time frame, and just great design on this figure. I can't wait to see what it looks like in the prototype stage outside of the render, but this looks cool. And typically with these figures, what you see in the render is exactly how it turns out. Maybe the head likeness is not as strong, but I think in this case they're gonna nail it. So looking forward to that one. Next up, the final boss himself. And you gotta love Mattel pumping this out quick. Now, they've got a bald rock figure, so it's not like, oh, we got to redesign all this all over again. But he's got platinum chain, sunglasses, he's got a pointing hand. And Steve mentioned, will we be able to get the sort of bloodline thing that Rock is doing? And so, yeah, they did mention he's going to have a soft goods, old school Rock, super detailed cloth soft goods shirt. That'll be fun. And they joke that maybe they'll have a weight belt with Mama Rhodes on there or something. So that could be fun. Good inclusion. Nice to see they're trying to get a final boss version of The Rock out there to us sooner. Then we got JD McDonough, and this is what I mentioned. He's got alternate hair, and that's very different for them. Normally, we've seen swappable hair with Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified series line. So the fact that Mattel is getting in on this is exciting. Now, they did do it before with the Doink. They haven't really done it in a while. So this is really neat to see that. This is the default heading to the ring, and now the mid-match look with hair down. That's very cool. Like the design of his cloak, and now you can complete Judgment Day, sort of, kind of. We got more of them coming. We got our Truth, and this dude continues to reinvent himself to remain relevant to the WWE fan base, and this is cool. Probably going to get this because I like Truth, and he's been very entertaining throughout the years to me, so we're getting this one when he's back in the forefront. More Judgment Day, Ultimate Edition version. This is for Ultimate Edition Series 25, so he's a little bit ways down the road. You know, Judgment Day is rocking purple all the time, so we got our crossover with more Masters of the Universe, and it's Skeletor. They don't have to do much else because they can just use this. They've got a partnership. It's Mattel in-house, so no problems getting everything down. This is going to be the Damian Priest that I have in my collection because this looks awesome. Great expressions. You've seen with the newest one, they've got his likeness down perfect. And this one, Skeletor influence, certainly the way to go for me. Then we got a top pick, Logan Paul. So here he is in that attire. Kind of reminds me a lot of Wolverine from Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine. So maybe you got to jump on things. I think this will be a popular figure later on. Then Rey Mysterio. And they mentioned this is the Great Muta inspired mask. And that kind of made me go, huh? Oh, maybe. And this is a really neat looking Ultimate Edition. This is 23 along with that LA Knight that I showed you a few minutes earlier. This is cool. Great detail. So if you need a new updated Rey, there you go. Not a superhero this time. It's a actual wrestling hero of his. And that's a really cool, unique look. This is from WrestleMania 39 when he went against his son, Dominic. And you see he's got the Phantom old school Rey Mysterio look, and he's got his Judgment Day attire. So, you know, if you've been on the fence about getting Judgment Day, you might as well wait and get these two Ultimate Edition versions of at least 2/5 of the squad. And great head sculpts and this really cool jacket for him. I think that looks really cool. So that'll be great to get that into the line. So this is where I'm going to go with my Dominic figure as well. Next up, we saw this Dusty Rhodes in prototype, really early prototype form, but this is the fully sculpted design version. Check out the torso. They mentioned this is a unique, basically the only time they're going to be able to use it is for Dusty Rhodes because they actually sculpted the birthmark in, which means those of you who are wondering, like, I don't like this version of Dusty Rhodes, give me an NWA one all day, put Tully on the side. We might get that as a possibility. Maybe not Tully on the sides, but if he's an Ultimate Edition, maybe they do that as one of those different head sculpts. So he comes with a Big Boss Man nightstick, the hat from when he was feuding with Big Boss Man, continuing the Dusty Rhodes versus Big Bubba feud. Got a headband, two head sculpts. That one to the far right, we've seen that recently. that yelling expression. It's kind of weird. We got some really cool ones. This one with the lips kind of sort of puckering is right before he's about to drop that bionic elbow. And I like Dusty and the polka dots. This was fun. He made it work regardless of the colors, and it'd be nice to get this one a better version of the WWF version that I already have in the collection. Next up, winding down on the reveals, the Great Muta. And they made sure to mention we're getting him in 1989 form. It was not, I was like, okay, don't do something from some time period that I was like, that's cool. But this, oh my gosh, such an awesome reveal. Getting the Great Muta just like this. J-Tech. So, I mean, we've already got a great Ric Flair figure. That Ultimate Edition is in purple. So this is basically from when he was feuding with Funk and Muta. It'd be really good. So I can get at least the first half of the Great American Bash 89 brawl underway. I've got Flair, I've got Funk. Sorta. We need an Ultimate Edition Terry Funk now so we can get those butterfly shoulders to really lock in a pile driver. Awesome. We've got Flair, we got Muta now. And I love that we didn't start off with a basic. We didn't do an elite. We jumped right away from the start with an Ultimate Edition version of Great Muta. This is awesome. Let me show you all the great accessories he's got. These are really amazing. So check this out. He's got the tongue sticking out. He did a thing all the time. That's great. We got a sort of fierce, angry expression. The standard basic. What's he thinking here? This guy looks creepy, but check this out. We've got misspewing Muta head sculpt. How awesome is that? Then they've got the ninja mask that he's rocking. These hands, these are definitely dynamically sculpted, they said, and it's not going to be, I think they're separate, but they're posed just like that so he can do his pre-match ritual. So great. We can do the whole Muta deal with this, and I'm so excited. Check out the torso. Again, this is a slender one. They needed to incorporate a slender mold in this format. We finally get it with Great Muta, and they mentioned we're going to see some more of him, so I'm fine with whatever else they do. The fact that we got an NWA Muta from 1989 to start makes me incredibly happy and just so hyped up and excited. Now, Terry Funk from Bash 89 jumps way high in my list of figures for what I want to see coming down from Mattel, but this is so cool. I remember when I was writing a post for the Push about my top 10 wrestlers that Mattel needs to do, Muta was on there, and had zero thought he was going to actually get done, but now that he is, this is such a cool presentation. They knocked out everything I would have wanted with a Great Muta figure. So very cool. Very excited about this. Some very great, very strong reveals from Mattel. And we still got 2 more days to go. We got some reveals coming tomorrow. And there's a there is a panel with CM Punk on Sunday before WrestleMania. So who knows what else we'll see. For sure, we're going to see the defining moment, the 4th figure from Ringside that's coming exclusively to Ringside Collectibles. Wonder what that could be. And there's all kinds of murmuring or maybe hopeful wishing that we're going to see the Steiner brothers in Ultimate Edition form. I'm certainly among those hoping that we see them. If so, this whole WrestleMania presentation from Mattel shoots up to one of my all-time favorites because we got a Muta, we got the ECW Dudley Boys, we got Sandman, we got Jean Grey, Becky Lynch, and Great Muta in Ultimate Edition form. So there we go. That was it. Hopefully we'll get some more cool reveals tomorrow, and I'll definitely be breaking them down. Thank you so much for watching. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.